Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, traders. Can you hear me and see my screen? If you could just type yes in questions. And I'll know if you guys can hear me fine. Okay, all right, everything's good. Excellent. Okay, all right, well, welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. And the goal of the webinar here is to get you familiar with Bookmap, define what it is, how you connect it to the markets. We connect to 3 different markets: digital currencies, futures markets, and US equities. Then how to get Bookmap. And then we'll go through some of the basics, looking at the live market and the user interface. Okay, so risk disclaimer: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Now, when you subscribe with Bookmap, it comes with education. Okay? There's a 4-part educational course, and that's accessible at any time. Okay? But then every day following this webinar at 11 Eastern, we go through the advanced order flow webinar. Okay, and in that webinar, we use the same process taught in the course, but you see it in the live market. Okay, so you can understand what it looks like in the live market and how to react to it. In these webinars, we, due to our analysis of the order flow and what Bookmap is showing us, then we start to anticipate future price movement. So it's not a trade room, but basically you can start to understand how to find trading opportunities in the order flow. Okay. All right, so let's jump over to the website and just scroll through it. Let's go to the top here first. Scroll down to intro video, information about Bookmap. Okay. DX feed, this is connecting to US equities with Bookmap. Okay. And then a bit further down in connectivity, we'll stop here and we'll define what Bookmap is. Okay. Bookmap is a software trading platform. We're not a data provider, nor are we a broker. So as I mentioned, we connect to 3 different markets. Okay, digital currencies for the GDAX exchange, that connection is free. Okay, so you get that automatically. But then connecting to the futures market or US equities, you will need to provide the data. Okay, so these are the ways that you can connect Bookmap. Now you can see there's some trading platforms up here. Okay, and we're a trading platform just like Ninja, TT, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. And you can connect via the API of these 3 different platforms here. However, we're a trading platform like them, and it's just best to connect directly to the data provider like Rhythmic, CQG, Gain, IQ Feed, Transact, and Dev Experts. And now the Dev Experts will scroll right back up to US equities, and that's that DX feed here. There's more information about it here. All right, now let's scroll down to how to get Bookmap. So now you know what Bookmap is and how to connect it, and then here's how you get it. Okay? You can subscribe yearly or you can subscribe monthly. You get 20% discount if it's yearly. Okay? And then you'll see the different versions down here. Okay? There's digital versions and global versions. Okay, so the digital version here is free. Okay, as mentioned, it's a free exchange data. So GDAX exchange is what you get. More are going to be added soon. Not sure if they'll be free or not, but you only get 1 digital currency at a time. Okay, it's a live market, so you can always check this market out or check out Bookmap in a live market. Okay, market's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's the whole idea behind it, so you can always see it. You only get basic education with this and limited support. Okay, you also get delayed data here for US equities. Now, the Digital Plus version. This includes the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart, okay, and into the GDAX exchange. You can record and replay that data you can get up to 20 different digital currencies at a time. You get the advanced education, and you also get full support. Okay, now the global version allows you everything in Digital Plus. Okay, but in addition, you get the ability to connect to futures market and U.S. equities. Okay, and of course, advanced education as well as full support. Global Plus version. Okay, what you get here is everything in global and everything in Digital Plus, but you also get our add-on indicators, and they're all listed here. One is the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart with the one-click trading. It's a great add-on for your trade management because you have the liquidity heat map in front of you. So you can front-run high liquidity for higher probability of getting filled, and you can hide your stops behind high liquidity for higher probability of not getting stopped out. You can see other indicators here, large lot tracker. Okay, we start to look at very specific behavior in the order flow, okay, or in the order book. In this instance, we are identifying larger players holding the majority of liquidity. Okay, we have some imbalance indicators here as well for book and for volume. Iceberg detector, we have actually a new one, iceberg detector, that allows you to see the larger players that are most likely using icebergs, and then correlation tracker to add other markets onto the Bookmap chart. Okay, so let's see the. Those are the different versions here of Bookmap. So let's take a look at a couple other resources, okay, that would recommend following us here on Twitter at bookmap_pro, because most information is updated right away. Here's the new iceberg detector if you want to check out more about that, and good stuff there. I can go over that one with you as well if you like, and then the YouTube page here. Okay, you can subscribe to our YouTube page, and then just some of the playlists here on the home page. Go through those intro videos here for those of you who are new. Then features and components, how to use Bookmap. Order flow video snippets. So these are very short, concise videos that go through order flow phenomena that Bookmap visualizes. This is where it's really going to help. Okay, so recommend watching as many of these as you can. And this is the kind of information we go through in detail in the advanced order flow webinars. All right, let's jump into Bookmap and take a look here. Okay, we're looking at Facebook. Yeah, let me, since, why are we looking at Facebook? All right, let's see here. I have a webinar later today. So I'm going to put this into the chat if you guys want to attend. Okay, this is at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's on DXFeed Bookmap, and that's connecting Bookmap to the U.S. equities. Okay, so go through some equity examples. We'll look at the live market and cover a lot of different things here. All right, so good examples, really clear examples in equities most of the time. It's just more transparency because larger players stand out better in the equities. Anyway, you have the link to that, so you can click on that and register to attend. And just zoom out here, looking at Facebook. I'm just curious here. See what's going on. Here's our 9:30 open. As you can see, here's the pre-market. Okay, yeah, so it's on its way down here into higher areas of liquidity, as you can see, and it's down below this 201.50. All right, so let's take a look here over at futures market. We'll jump into NASDAQ. Okay. And here we go. So no surprise, looks a lot like Facebook. Let's open this up a little bit more here. Get a little more data in here. All right. So here's our 9:30 open, and it's been very weak today, as you can see. Looking at the Bookmap chart here, those of you who are new, probably looking at this and saying, wow, there's a lot of information and it looks like a lot of noise. It's actually very straightforward data, very easy to comprehend, very objective. Okay, you're not looking at some sort of indicator here. The concept alone of a candlestick or some bar of aggregated data is more complex than understanding what Bookmap is showing here. Okay, and so let me explain. There's really three elements on this Bookmap chart. Okay, one is just best bid and offer, both current and historical. Okay. The other, and that's the volume dots here, are the transactions that took place on that best bid and offer. Okay, so very much like a footprint chart, very precisely down to nanosecond level, we are recording the data. And then the last element on this chart is the heat map. Okay? And the heat map is this kind of reddish, yellow, orange, and blue heat map. Okay, and that's outside of current price, or I'm sorry, historical and current price. Well, all it is, this heat map is showing where traders are bidding and offering in the depth of market. Okay, so let's take off here. Let me hide this column, and we have some other add-on indicators here, like a point of control indicator and a historical VWAP indicator. I'm going to take those off, and also I have the iceberg detector on here as well. I'm going to take that off, and you can also see we have a sub panel here, okay? And the sub panel is for cumulative volume delta. I'm going to close that up as well. And so just three elements are on this chart. That's it. Okay. So and let's start with the heat map and define what it is. So zoom in here. And look at the string of buyers that we're finding in this quick move to the upside. Buyers are coming in. Okay, looks like they're trying to get it above here. Looks good. Looks like next target is up here at 55. Strong move here. Okay, 55, and then let's see the swing up here, 60, yeah, it looks good. So let's see if we can continue on and get up there, but get a short squeeze maybe going here. Anyway, so let's just go in and zoom in here and take a look at the Bookmap chart. Now, this white line here in the middle divides the historical market to the left and the current market to the right. Okay? So right here is our current best bid and offer. Okay, and then this number is the last traded volume, and then this is our price ladder right here. Okay. Now the COB column over here stands for current order book, and you can see the depth of market here on the offer, and then down here on the bid. Okay, this is your dome. Right, basically what you're looking at here is traders lined up providing these numbers are liquidity. It's contracts, and these traders are lined up providing liquidity at these specific price levels. This is where they want to deal. Okay, and then that's on the offer, and then you can see what we're doing here with the bars is taking that high liquidity and turning it into a graphical representation. Okay, and that is also in this window here. Everything is graphical. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. This is moving pretty quickly. So areas of high liquidity are painted in the heat map. Scale the heat map is up here. Okay, reddish orange. Very high liquidity, then yellow, then white, then blue, and then black. All right, so and then we take this. These numbers are transformed into the graphical representation, and then those are then transposed on the chart historically. Okay, so that's all the heat map is. It's just your dome, but you can see how we're recording this. Okay, and this record here. Is giving you a lot of information. For example, let's just take a look at this action right in here, and we're going to zoom into it. Okay, this is one individual actor, and here's how he's starting to behave in the on the offer. providing liquidity here at 72.48. He takes this liquidity, pulls it, and adds it higher, as you can see. Okay, just a couple ticks. He doesn't want to deal there either, as price is coming up pretty aggressively toward him. He pulls, adds up higher again. Okay, now so we can start to understand the behavior of this trader here. He doesn't really want to trade here at these levels. Okay, and let's look at his behavior. You can see he was over here at 48 for a while. And it starts to pull. And he's pulling and adding up in some of these other levels here. Okay? So, we can start to gauge now the intent of these traders in the auction, okay, current and historical. You're able to use your dome now on much higher time frames as you zoom out, okay? And as you're able to see a bigger picture of how they're behaving in the auction. Here on the bid and then here on the offer. All right, so that's what the heat map is, more advanced analysis of that. I think you'll have to either ask some questions here or attend the advanced order flow webinars. We will give you the link out tomorrow to it. So if you want to check out, see what we do in those webinars, then come here tomorrow morning to this webinar, and then I'll pass it out to you so that you can attend the one at 11 a.m. All right. Okay, so that's the heat map. The two other elements here on the chart. The green dots here, as I mentioned before here, this is the aggressive buying. Okay, this is the transactions. And then the red dots are the sellers, the aggressive sellers. Okay. So let's zoom into an area, and this area looks fine, and just show you really how simple and straightforward this data is. Okay, so the red line here is the best ask. Green line is the best bid. Okay, this green dot here, and we can use our data tip tool, and we can get precise data here. This was a transaction, an aggressive buy that took liquidity. Let's zoom into it. That took liquidity off of the best offer. Okay, they didn't provide it. They didn't wait. They just wanted in, and they jumped in and they traded. Okay, now you can see. Actually, I don't want to cover that example. I mean, it's a good example. There's a little bit of latency here, which is fine. That happens frequently between quotes data and trade data. But just want to show you maybe something a little more straightforward. All right, so let's go into this area here and zoom in, and you can see how we are recording every single market event. Okay, this is for a volume of 3, and this is for a volume of 1. But I zoom back out. Now we're at microsecond level, so we're looking at millions of seconds. Things happening very quickly here. Okay, so we're recording every single event and then just plotting it on the chart. And that's it. So there's your market buys and the red dot. That's your market sell. Okay, that's it. Okay, but the advantages that you get here, and it all actually revolves around not being aggregated. Okay, because we're recording every single event and plotting it as it happens. So, for example, if you're going to look at a candlestick chart, okay, well, here's a candle, a 5-minute candle. Let's zoom out a bit more. Okay, and here's another five-minute candle over here. Okay. Well, what you're missing is this move. You can't see the aggressors. You can't see the volume. You don't know precisely where this volume traded. You don't know how strong this auction really is. Even your footprint chart, you won't see the speed of this move. Okay, it won't be recorded like that, and it will be aggregated within a bar, and that's a disadvantage. Okay, being able to understand how strong of a move and how quick of a move this was. Okay, another thing you're not going to see, and you can't see it also in this 5-minute candlestick chart, is microstructure. Okay, looking at little pullbacks. Okay, and then extensions, another pullback, extension, consolidation up here, and then sellers come in and they drive it lower below this little consolidation period here. Okay. They come down and breach the low right here. I continue to try to get lower here, but don't go any lower. We see someone come in with pretty high liquidity at here, down at 42 and a half. And then we start to find some buyers creep right back in and bring it right back up into where it dropped from up here. Okay. All sorts of stories starting to unfold and starting to understand, and then look at the bulk of the volume and how it's trading within the heat map and where they're providing liquidity. Okay, it's really understanding the context of high liquidity and the aggressor and how they react to each other. Right. So anyway, those are the elements in Bookmap. And then understanding some of the order flow. Let's just take a quick look here and see what's happening. We were looking for a move back up to 55. Obviously, you can see we got that and then some. We were looking at the next move was 60. That was our target. Let's zoom in here and take a look. Yeah, here was 55, and then here was their behavior in 55. They pulled. Okay, so that was our target initially. Now, you can start to understand and extrapolate lots of data here as well in terms of how to use this, how to trade. Let's say you were long. Let's say you saw that really quick move and you're starting to anticipate a really nice short squeeze to the upside. Okay? Well, if they're going to start to pull their liquidity here, you should too. Okay? So if you were front running it down here and then you start to see that they're pulling it, pull yours, add it higher. And then see the follow through here. Are more buyers starting to come in at higher highs? Support this, and they are. Start to pull and look for areas where they're going to stay in the book. And here it is. Okay? They stayed in the book here at this level. Now, not a lot traded up here, but they're starting to stay in the book now. Okay? And that's different than the behavior we saw earlier. Right? And it's starting to slow price down a bit, and still going to the upside here. All right, so trading into 70, 72.70 through that, and let's see how they behaved here. Yeah, they're staying right in the book as well. Okay. So 15 contracts traded. It's not a lot because it's very high liquidity, 45. Okay, but only 15 traded. Oh, I'm sorry, 26 traded. Zoom out a bit more. Anyway, they were able to trade through that area, and they continue to trade through those areas. They're supporting it down here at 65 now on the bid. Okay. We have really simple stuff to be able to read and understand, starting to understand, did they trade? Did they pull? What was their context in the auction? And understand who's in control. And we know buyers are in control. Look at the buying at higher highs here. Anyway, that's it. We got to go. We'll see you in the next webinar if you're registered. And don't forget, let me put this back in for you. In the chat there, you can register for the DXFeed Bookmap webinar that starts at 1:30 Eastern Time today, later this afternoon. Okay? All right, guys. Take care.